There is no shortage of guides out there telling you why you should not crouch in Counter-Strike 2, but today I want to tell you reasons that you should be crouching and give you my perspective as a professional player in this scene. I played in many tournaments, events, leagues out there, and I'm growing as a player. I'm one step away from Pro League. So let me give you my honest advice on why you should be crouching and how we can make sure that a bad habit can actually turn into something good. But before we get into that, I have to teach you about how to get the best Counter-Strike 2 skins possible. The sponsor of today's video is SkinPlace, a site where you can instantly and safely sell skins for real money. It really only takes seconds. To get started, you need to log in via Steam. Choose the skins that you want to sell. Next, choose a withdrawal method. Currently available are Visa and MasterCards, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, and balance on site if you plan to withdraw money later. Enter your wallet number and do not forget to use my promo code CoJoMoCS for a 3% bonus on your first sale. When you have filled in the gaps, click Receive Money Viola. The funds will arrive in your account soon. I left the link to SkinPlace in the first comment. Have some good sales. Alright, so let's go ahead and talk about crouching. Now, why does everybody tell you to stop crouching? Why is it something that most coaches are going to recommend you not do? Well, the reason for that is a lot of new players get into the bad habit of going around the map crouching everywhere. Now, one, this is not good because you should be walking when you want to go silently, because new players might be like, I'm crouching because I don't want to make noise. Okay, well, actually what you should be doing is walking instead of crouching. And two, players will just sit in an angle and crouch like this, and it's very bad, right? Because one thing that you got to realize about when you're crouching is because you're kind of down low and like you're hunched over, your character is actually wider. Because you're crouching, it actually makes you wider and it makes you harder to hit, right? Or easier to hit, rather. But what makes it harder for you is it makes it harder for you to escape the position you're in. You'll see high level players, you know, they'll be dodging in and out here. They'll be shooting, taking shots, then going in and out. They'll be jiggling, doing all these things, and that's great because it allows them to move around. But that's not what every single engagement is going to be like. And sometimes you do need to crouch, and there's a lot of benefits to crouching in this game. One example I'll use is if you ever find yourself as a CT in this big garage angle, one of my favorite things to do is to crouch back here. Why is that? Because when you're crouched, you're actually a little bit more accurate, right? So when you're in a crouched position, it makes the spray control a lot easier to handle and a lot less wild, right? When you're standing up, it's a little harder to control. When you're crouched, it's very easy to manage and easy to actually get your bullets to where you want to be, especially with the A1S and those type of things. So when I'm playing an off angle that's super far away like this, crouching is my best friend because I can instantly get those spray downs and those transfers, right? Also, guys, because of this concept, when you know that you're going to be committing to a fight, it can be very effective when you're peeking outside, maybe your teammates are flashing for you or something, to come out here and just start spraying down. Now, why is that good? Because one, it keeps your accuracy very very tight, the spread not as much. But two, actually, when you're going out here and crouching with a swing, it actually is very hard for your opponent to hit your head as you're in the motion of crouching. And this is where a bad habit can form, where we're crouching during every single fight, which is not good because, like I said, you're not very mobile. It's easy to get killed. But because of this act where you're ducking your head in, that crouching can actually be very effective, right? So one thing that I actually recommend to players is to utilize this, and when you're fighting opponents running at you and stuff, throw in some crouches. Like, say they're running out hut, throw in some crouches when you're spraying, uncrouch, crouch, do all these things and move around. But don't be afraid to add crouches in there, because a lot of people here don't crouch, don't use that key. Because it's making you bad. That key is not making you bad. It's only bad when you just sit there and don't move, right? But why it's so good to crouch for newer players to the game, guys, is because the biggest mistake I see newer players making is moving around while shooting. When they're fighting people, they're running out here and trying to fight them like this. It's very newbie. It's very hard to watch, but it's something that we all have done because we come from games like Call of Duty and stuff where we can run around and shoot. So my advice actually to newer players, and yes, it can build bad habits, but it also gets you into the habit of understanding you need to stop, is when you're going for these fights, hitting that crouch key, because then it kind of slows your movement down. It slows your movement speed down in order for you to be fully accurate while you're shooting. Because when you're crouching around, you can go actually back and forth and pretty much be fully accurate, right? When we're crouching left and right here with our strafing keys, we can actually be accurate even though we're moving. Because in Counter-Strike, you don't need to be at 0 speed when you're shooting. You don't, right? It's why people can get like crazy 1 digs and stuff doing these things. You just need to be as close to that 0 number as possible, right? And what I mean by that, 0 is when we're not moving at all. We have 0 speed right now versus whatever our movement speed is when we're holding full W, or you know, we're super strafing out, right? So when we're peaking angles and we crouch, it actually kills that momentum speed. Oh, I couldn't say it. It kills that momentum speed, making it a lot easier for us to hit that shot. But yeah, it's melting my brain, guys. Also, another situation where it is so good to crouch is when you're on stairs. Why is this so good? Because you can actually uncrouch, and as soon as like 3 people are peeking, you can crouch and get out, right? If you're just standing, you actually have to hit the S key and get out, which can be very tricky when you have so much going on. But if you get into a crouch spot right here, say like this, and then get to a level where when you uncrouch, you can kind of see like people running at you. So when you're shooting, oh, you get overwhelmed, you can crouch and instantly be out. Versus if you're playing right here, you actually have to hit that S key, and it can be a little confusing on how to get out and stuff. But I find on stairs, crouching is really good because you can kind of change your fight and shift around here in these different angles and just be extremely hard to kill. These are some of the situations I think it's very good to crouch. For my oppers out there, crouching is extremely effective given different circumstances. Also on angles like this, it's the same as the stair thing, where you can kind of spot like this, and crouching is extremely effective. It's like an alternative to jump spotting, right? When you can crouch spot like that, it is so good. So I find that very effective. But when I'm opping, I like crouching. It's very good in my opinion. Like you know, sitting behind angles like this, lowering our hitbox height so that we can kind of hug the stairs a little bit more. And then also one thing that oppers do is they actually crouch peek angles. So when you're double scoped in, they'll actually come in here and crouch peek, and it's so slow. And if an opper is posted on you, you'll probably die. But if you're fighting a rifler, it's actually kind of good because maybe they'll start shooting your arms in the side, and you can get that easy kill. So one thing to do is like when you're about to peek the angle. So I'm standing right now, right? I'll show unscoped. I'm standing while holding my A key, but as soon as I'm about to peek that angle, I'm gonna crouch, right? So it's gonna be like that. So when I'm about to peek, crouch. And again, it just transitions our character down. It moves it down, giving us that edge in the fight. So walk, 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 crouch, boom. Or as soon as you take contact, as soon as they start shooting you, boom, crouch. And one, again, if we have any movement speed, because when we're moving like this, we're actually inaccurate. But the second we hit crouch, you see how our scope like unblurs? Boom, we can move around while crouching and be pretty much fully accurate with the op. So this is why crouching can actually be a positive thing. Definitely listen to people when they tell you to stop crouching all the time, because that is bad. But understand when you're peeking angles and doing these kind of things, there's actually a time and a place where crouching is good, right? So don't listen to the people that tell you that crouching is 100% bad, because like anything in this game, it's completely situational. And I just gave you so many different reasons why crouching can actually be good. Kills your momentum speed, allows you to have a tighter spray, allows you to change your hit model, your character model, whatever it is. Just be aware of the downsides to crouching, and you're going to be solid. So I appreciate every single one of you guys. You guys have been killing it with the support recently. Go ahead and check out the videos on your screen right now, and we will keep grinding and posting for all of you. So appreciate everyone. Keep grinding, keep working hard. I'll catch you later.